Hey guys, so today we are looking at the Goku Black and ZAMASU Ultimate Red Zone stage. This one is interesting because it's tough for me to tell you, that it's harder than the Goku Black Red Zone stage, but it's also like, I could see the argument for why. So if we're looking at the team here, this is the sort of, Trunks and Vegeta-led team with the new Future Gohan. We have World Tournament Goku, and we also have the Blue Goku and Vegeta, the newly pulled unit. So we also have double Vegeta and Trunks and stuff like that. So this is a good team, but again, it's it's rough, right? Future Gohan is very contingent on making sure that he has his guard, he has his damage reduction. So this EZA certainly is going to help with making this a more seamless experience, but again, it could just come down to getting lucky, right? Because the way you sort of want to do this, even with items, and you can see that was a big dodge there, but the way you want to do this with items is you want to try and conserve until you get into the phase, the second phase, right? Once we get to that second phase, we have some pretty good type advantage across the board. Now, the only unit that goes type disadvantage that I have on the team, for better or for worse, is AGL Blue Vegito. So when you have AGL Blue Vegito being type disadvantage, in the second phase, things can get a little bit tricky because you get to turn 4 and whatever, and then he loses his guard on that fraudulent turn. That is where shit can really hit the fan, right? So we really don't want to. We want to make sure that doesn't happen. And then also, I'm pretty sure we just right away just have to use the standby, right? So the mindset that I go with here is that we cannot afford to not do the standby. It's essentially I'm throwing away the stacks with the blue boys, because we need to be able to build up World Tournament Goku, make sure he's ready to go, and get that post-revival and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the way it kind of just works out, we don't get nearly as much build-up as I wanted. A bad super, but getting that revival out of the way is fine, because now we have post-revival World Tournament Goku on the team. So with post-revival World Tournament Goku, we know that we just have that slot 1, he can hold it down over on the other rotation with another Trunks and Vegeta potentially in both slot 1s and stuff like that. And then we also have the GT duo, who on the next time we see them will have their damage reduction built up, and they'll be able to do a little bit more as well. So, when we have all of that going in one kind of fluid motion, if you will, you know that everything's going to kind of work out nicely. So it just comes down to Goku Black and ZAMASU not hitting us with a bad super. So, you have somebody like Future Gohan coming in and doing his thing. You have somebody like Super Saiyan 4 Goku doing his thing. I don't believe in this run we get the standby with Super Saiyan 3 or Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but if we were to get that, that would help us with the defensive support and stuff like that. So maybe we do, maybe we don't. I forget, because I did this run a couple days ago at this point, but I'm just finally able to record it with my new cord. So boom, there we go. Again, no damage, nowhere near as much damage reduction slot 1. So I already felt that I made a mistake on this run. But you guys will see here, we have post-World Tournament, or Revival World Tournament Goku, who is just a whole nother animal than the normal World Tournament Goku, right? So it's he goes from a 7.5 unit to just a 9.5, 10 out of 10 type of unit, right? It is just tough to do damage to this guy. We're talking 1,000,000 defense with guard and shit like that. He is just going to look extremely, extremely impressive. So, with a unit like this, it is super, super nice to have. And, just all in all, I think with these super effective supers and, doing 3 to 4 supers every time, you're really going to be able to see him look impressive. And it's with this guy, he's just nice because you can seamlessly fit him on the team, and he's not, holding us back by any means, despite the type disadvantage, right? Then we also have the dodge build, just in case we take a rogue super or something like that. We also have the chance to dodge it, which is super, super nice. And you guys can just see, all in all, that this run is going pretty smooth now. Super Saiyan 4 Goku did his best to try and make sure that we didn't win this run, but I'm always okay with taking a little bit in the first phase, because this way we can kind of stall out, right? Sometimes it does get a little bit dodgy, but you guys will see throughout the run that this does end up working out pretty well. Certainly not the best run we've ever had, but also not the worst, because again, we have to make sure that we have all of the no item runs on for the red zone and stuff like that. It's kind of been an ongoing tradition that we get the no item run for every single red zone stage in the game, and this is no different. So just making sure we have that is extremely, extremely important to me. And, what do I always say in my no item run videos, right? You're seeing this video, so you're going to be able, or we're going to be able to get it done. So taking 4 turns in the beginning, and personally, I'm okay with that, because this way we can build everybody up, right? Trunks and Vegeta need to build up. Future Gohan doesn't need to build up as much, but the blue boys, they need to build up. We do this for the support, by the way, but, we look at the GT duo, they need to build up their damage reduction. We look at World Tournament Goku, he needs to take hits to build up. We need the blue duo to stack. really the only unit we don't need to build up is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? Because we just need him to take hits, and if he takes hits, then we're gaming, right? So on this next turn, we floated off our last Trunks and Vegeta, so now we have a slot 1 unit with Super Saiyan 4 Goku that we can just toss in that spot, and that way he's not going to take nearly as much damage from that super. And then in slot 2, we're going to have World Tournament Goku, who's again just whole nother animal in terms of the defensive output that he can put out. And he's just going to all in all look impressive, right? So like right here, an unlucky super, but Trunks and Vegeta have built up enough to this point, especially with their support from their active skill and stuff like that with the extra defense, that we were able to take 50k from that normal or from that super, which by no means is bad. So now I'm feeling pretty comfortable with the team build that we have, because now we're not going to see the blue boys again for another 3 turns. We've got that HP restriction nice and down pat. And what we do here is I change it up and we go to Super Saiyan 4 in slot 1. We have the GT Duo in slot 2. And this is, with these, I think we would probably want to go for the AGL orbs, right? No. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's right. So I'm going for the heal with the tech orbs, right? Because, Goku has a ton of defense at this point. So I know if I grab those orbs, we're getting a juicy, juicy heal. Like, you can see how much that is, right? And then, of course, Goku Black and Zamasu feel the need to super right here. I think we still have our damage reduction. Actually, no, we don't. So we take 370k right there from that, which is obviously not good, right? So, things are looking a little bit dodgy at this point, but I forget how we get out of this run, like, safely, right? Maybe it's like a juicy heal or something like that, but you guys can see, like, we've already got our backs against the wall with this run, right? It's, Goku took a bad super, because, like, of course, it's always funny, because we know there's one bad hit that a unit cannot take, and that was the one, right? Like, that was the bad super we couldn't take, or the the Super Saiyan 4 Goku, excuse me. That first hit is always going to be the juicy one, and of course it was the super. So if he were to have taken a normal there and built up after that, we would have been completely fine. That wouldn't have been like a catastrophic amount of damage that happened right there. But unfortunately, what happened, and he ended up taking a lot of damage. So, it is what it is. But we're good now. But we still have these Super Saiyan, or this World Tournament Goku, who's doing base form. He's doing I don't know what I'm talking about. He's doing all his build up and stuff like that. Oh, this is why we win the run. Okay, I got you. We luck out because future Gohan has his damage reduction, and then we also have the defensive support from this active skill, and then Trunks and Vegeta in slot 3 are not taking any hits. So ultimately, that has to be why we win this run, because now we're looking at, like, that was what, like 690,000 defense for Trunks of Vegeta in slot 1 there, and then our Trunks of Vegeta, or my Trunks of Vegeta is also getting their key built in and stuff like that. This Trunks of Vegeta is fully built up on the hits they're taking. Now they can just stack, and all in all, this is like, this is starting to shape out a little bit, right? Now, Super Saiyan 4 Goku might have his standby at this point. He's taken a decent amount of hits, but maybe not. But even if he doesn't, he still has his damage reduction and defense built up from the hits that he took prior on the last turn. So that is definitely going to help us in the long run in terms of getting this one done. Again, it just comes down to getting lucky. That's how these no item runs are, right? You take one bad super in a spot and it's just GG across the board. This is where we needed Goku Black and Zamasu to do their super, and ultimately they do. I don't remember how much this hits for, but 5,000. We eat that for breakfast, obviously. And future Gohan's going to look impressive, and then if we see him again on the next turn, I do believe he will go Super Saiyan. But now we have 1 or 2 turns left in here, because I'm looking at the timer on here. We only have about 2 minutes left in this run, so we are moving pretty well. And that way, we're going to be able to progress with this no item run. So boom, there we go. Future Gohan doing his thing. That was, I believe, a double super, taking double digits from the normals. And then Trunks of Vegeta at 4.2 million is nothing too bad. Again, could be better, but this isn't their best situation. I don't even believe they're fully built up, but they work just fine as a floater, despite you not really wanting to use 2 of them with other slot units, or slot 1 units, because this team is kind of like a big fight for slot 1, right? Like, a lot of these units want to be put in slot 1, and you can't necessarily get all of them in one spot. So right here, we do have the active skill for Vegito, so we ultimately, we're obviously going to do that, right? We're going to fuse, that way we have nothing to worry about, but I do believe that the GT Duo does finish the job for us here, because now we have this type disadvantage active skill. We can kind of chunk out a little bit of damage. 2.5 is not bad, or nothing to shy away from at type advantage, or type disadvantage is pretty good, and then we are going to get this for the GT Duo, I can't talk, and then we don't get a super for Vegito there, so if Vegito were to have taken a super in that spot, it probably would have been all she wrote, but we get the attack buff with Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and we are looking at a 7.9 million attack stat, so that is pretty good. And then the GT Duo is ultimately going to come in and clean up. So Goku Black and Zamasu, this took 2 days worth of attempts, even though I only did 3 on the first day. But again, this one took like 3 tries the next day, so getting it done the second day is nothing to be too ashamed of. Got it done pretty easy, within 2 days. That's nothing bad, considering Broly took like a month and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. Corrupted Merge Zamasu, it'll be interesting to see how that red zone is. I'm sure it's going to be kind of similar to what we saw with that Vegito gimmick fight, where he's just going to hit extremely hard turn 1. But we can only wait and see. Time will tell. Part 3 will be a movie for sure. So let me know down below what you guys think of this run. What team did you use to beat this event, excuse me. And that is all of the red zones, no items for now. So leave a like if you did enjoy, subscribe if you are new, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my Dokkan Battle content. Make sure that you check out the streams and whatnot, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.